All right. Y'all, welcome to another edition of the Elite Mancast. Every Wednesdays, 8:30, man, over there on YouTube. Y'all go over there, like, subscribe, and share over there so we can get y'all in there and start interacting over there too, man, as well. So y'all know, man, we live. We talking about what were we talking about? The quantum mindset. That's what we talk. I was out of there. I was out of there. Yeah, man. Quantum mindset. And you know how we do. We got the panel,
Yeah.
man. What we got? Man, what's your name tonight, Kinfolk? What's your name tonight?
Thor.
Thor. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
With the hammer. Thor with the hammer. And we got Mr. Michael up in the building, man. So, man, we're gonna be interacting and talking about this quantum mindset tonight, man. It's a great topic because it has to do with everything that we're going through right now, man. That we're growing through, that we're learning, the new AIs and all of that. That's what quantum mindset is, the quantum physics, rather. It all boils down to that, the quantum mechanics of it all, so we can become a greater nation, become a greater country, and everybody around us should be wanting to become greater. But some people love the stagnation and they love the way it smells. So we're gonna let them sit there. So, Mike, give me a little bit of what we got tonight, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Well, the quantum mindset. Well, like you said, it's about the quantum physics, but the quantum mindset is basically loosely based on the quantum physics or quantum mechanics, and it's basically used as a metaphor for what the quantum mindset actually is. And it's about shifting from a rigid, deterministic mindset and based on fear. It's like a worldwide view of fear. And we're changing that to one of fluid, open, and aligned with possibility, intuition, and energetic alignment. So basically, what we're doing is going from worrying and starting to get into that mindset of the future, creating your own reality, moving from what's going on now or what happened to you yesterday or the last few years into what you want your life to be and creating it. This is what the quantum mindset is all about. So
Oh yeah.
it's actually a high performance way of thinking. So you're changing from the normal everyday way of doing things or thinking to creating the future that you want to have and creating the person that you want to be. So
Oh
what you
yeah.
got for us, Thor?
How y'all doing tonight? Great topic as always. But when it comes to the quantum mindset, I mean, just to put it all in a nutshell, it's just like the old saying, "You are what you eat." I mean, just to put it plainly, because you guys already know my situation. Well, not situation. You guys already know what it is that I do out here.
Yeah.
If I had that stagnant mindset, I would still be working for someone or working for a group of people. But it's because I changed my mind. Because even with my background, if you was to look at, my state, uh, a lot of people don't make it out there because they just, different things happen, life, death, baby mamas, whatever. But I had to change my, I had to change my mindset in order to get where it is that I am now, and where I'm headed. Even hell tomorrow, I was on
Right.
university campus all day because, of a quantum mindset.
Mm.
We have another university out here. They want me to bring my concept to their campus. So we
Oh,
was
okay.
doing negotiation and everything. I mean, had I not changed my mindset, I would have still been thinking, the old Alejandro, like, okay,
Right.
I gotta go do this. I have to go do that. But it's like now I'm
Right.
actually making moves. So
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the most successful scientific theory for the last 100 years that we've been dealing with. I mean, that we've been using that quantum mindset too, man.
Absolutely.
And the quantum mechanics is already permeating pretty much everything that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from your computers, your cell phones, to how we keep time depends on our depends. Hold on, let me block my. I got my phone ring. But it pretty much is. It deals with everything that we're doing right now in our world. You know, so in the quantum mindset, possibilities are endless and not limited to two options. And a lot of us, we always try to stay comfortable in what we're doing. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times that's what's gonna hold you to a space of nah, you can't that type of mindset. No, I can't. No, this is why. But when you have that quantum mindset, you're thinking past those options. You're thinking past all the. It's no limit. You can't. It's no box that you would be putting yourself in with a quantum mindset. So that's why I believe that all of us should practice on becoming more quantum mindset. Quantum physics is definitely my thing. I love neuroscience now. Since I've been looking at Joe Dispenza, and Bruce Lipton, these two guys will give you so much of an insight on who you are and what your internal does as you wake up and as you move and all of this, so that way your quantum field will start to evolve more and more. Because a lot of times when we don't know something, we don't want to utilize it, or we're not exposed to it, so we don't utilize it as much as we should, because that's not what we were programmed to think. We weren't programmed like that. We didn't grow up like that. They always kept us in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all go to school, bell rings, lunch bell rings for the end of the day. Now you're on a mechanic, you're a machine. So you're not thinking
Yeah.
of a quantum field where it's limitless, it's endless options. You know, you try to figure a puzzle. You know, some people say, "Oh, 1 + 1 is 2," but what about 2 + 0? Is that 2? Yeah, but what about, It's like you got to think about all of the options. You can't think about, It's like, really, but 1 + 1 is really 1. If we really want to get down to the quantum of it, you know what I'm saying? Because if you put two pieces together, it's only one piece now. It becomes one. You know what I'm saying? It's like I look at this guy. He's on Instagram. He got YouTube videos too. He asks these ladies. He asks them, "Are you smart or you dumb?" You know what I'm saying? And it's like he has these type of questions going on. Say, like, if I have 4 bales of hay and you got 5 bales of hay, how many bales of hay, if we put them together, how many do we have? And you're gonna always hear somebody say 9. It's like, no. If you put them all together, you got 1. You put all the bales of hay together.
You just
That's
got
1
one
bale of
big
hay.
bale of hay.
Right.
You
Just
got one
one
big
big
bale.
ass
See,
bill.
that's why we don't. Yeah, and that's where a lot of people make mistakes at, because they so used to that programming of schooling that we were taught that
Right.
was no good for us anyway. But we so used to hearing numbers. We're so used to adding, and it's like, yeah, add all of them together. That's 1. If you just put all the bales of hay together, that's 1. Even though I had 4 and she had 5, it's still 1 when I put them all together. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start realizing these type of things, that it's like I was speaking about last week. Stop asking people how they're doing, because doing is a verb. That's an action. You can't ask somebody. You can ask somebody how they're feeling, which is an emotion. That's the quantum thought. You know what I'm saying? You got to have these thoughts of like, hey man, I can't keep on asking people how they're doing. It's like saying, what are you
Right.
doing? Now that makes more sense. But how are you doing? How is a totally different question than a statement. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing is a different question than the statement of how. But we have to realize everything, that we've been taught. We have to unlearn it, honestly. And I know it's hard for a lot of people because they still live in a world of, I go to work and I come home. I still live in that system of assembly line. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's pretty much hard for you to break the cycle if you're still living in an assembly line type of vibe. If you have that assembly line mindset, so think of it as a mindset that sees opportunity in every situation.
Right.
You know,
That's it.
so that's what we can do, man.
It's like I was reading. It said about uncertainty. The quantum mindset thrives off of uncertainty because that's where the
Yeah.
opportunities lie. So when you start
Hmm.
saying, "Oh well, this ain't going right," well, what's going to happen now? They changing things at work. What am I going to do?
Right.
That's your opportunity. That's where your
Just
opportunities come from. You've been thinking about starting your own business. Perfect time to get started.
yeah,
You just have
yeah.
to quit
Or
looking
you
at
can
it as black or white. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. And then you can implement your idea off into that new idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hurry
Exactly.
up and think of a solution. People be talking about, oh man, AI gonna take over jobs. Y'all say that only because the people on the TV say it. Get off of the
Yep.
TV and go do some YouTube research because they have some real people who've done the work on YouTube.
Yes.
Instagram, they starting to get the YouTubers, statements, and they're starting to repeat, because all this information is regurgitated if you wasn't doing the real work. You know what I'm saying? If you're not the archaeologist,
Right.
you're not going to talk about bones. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You're not going to talk about artifacts because you're not an archaeologist. But if you heard an
Right.
archaeologist say it, you're going to go ahead and regurgitate all of that information without even doing your homework.
Assuming
So
that
that's what
is
we have
true.
to get. Yeah, we have to get away from that program, that tunnel vision of, oh, they said it on the news, so it got to be true. No, that's a tell lie vision. That's telling a vision of what they want you to believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we can get past that though. But yeah, man, it's definitely something that I feel that the world should be getting involved in.
Yeah. It should. I think it's starting to
Like,
come around slowly but surely. Because nowadays you're hearing about this stuff a lot more often. Before you never heard about it.
mhm,
Now more and more people are starting to, you hear whispers and then all of a sudden it's becoming more mainstream. More people starting to look
yeah,
at it. Just like financial
yeah,
literacy. Before none
right.
of us were talking about it. Now all of a
No.
sudden everybody talking about it.
Yeah,
Not everybody's doing it, but everybody talking.
you're right. To me, I want to say that you should just embrace insecurities or embrace uncertainties rather. Kind of
Right.
like what was it like 2 months ago? What was the fad 2 months ago? Oh, the planes crashing.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Nobody wanted
nobody
to
wanted to
fly.
fly.
Nobody wanted to fly because the planes was crashing. But it's
Wow.
like, well, shit, if nobody flying, the ticket's gonna be cheap as hell. So guess who's
Hmm.
flying?
Yep.
So it's like, hey, I'm good. But I mean, it's
That's
all how
it.
you think. I mean, if you think that you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna make it. I mean, they say,
Right.
speak things into existence, which is true, affirmations. But I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to speak it and believe it. Don't, you know, I don't go to church. Not bragging, but technically, yeah, I am bragging. I don't go to church, but I believe that I have more faith than most of those people sitting in church
Definitely,
Absolutely.
man. Definitely.
because
Because
Absolutely.
yeah, they're being programmed. So
oh,
go ahead.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because
Yeah.
they doing all this hooping and hollering, and if you're supposed to serve this Almighty God, God don't need your help. So it's
Hmm.
like, who are you serving? What are you doing it for? You
Right.
sitting up here saying that you have
Mhm.
this faith, this belief, and then you go crying offline or, oh, y'all, this is what I'm going through, but you're begging for help. No, talk to your guy.
Hmm.
Talk to the source, man.
Yeah.
It was a lady asked me about that. She said, "Well, when are you coming to church?" I said, "I go every day." I said, "I'm connected to the source. So why would I talk to a third party if I'm connected to the source? I
Yeah.
can go into my
Right.
room, I can go into my head and talk to him and be with him.
All
So
day.
Hmm.
that's a quantum mindset to have to where you're not stuck on one thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't be stuck
Right.
in one thing.
Right.
Now these people know I am on my show. What is
Ask
going
me like,
on?
you go to church? I'm like, no, I go to Popeyes. But I'm good.
They open on Sundays.
Yeah.
Ah! Y'all out of control.
Wow.
That's a man, letting go. Letting go of the need to what it says, letting go of the need for clear-cut answers and embracing ambiguity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and ambiguity is that's the quality of being open more than one interpretation. You know what I'm saying? You can't be just one way with this world and expect to advance. And
Right.
that's like the millionaires. Millionaires tell you that you're going to have more than one way to make this income, and if you're planning to get rich or wealthy, you have to make money while you're asleep. Bob Proctor said that.
Yeah.
And if you don't make money when you're sleeping, you're going to forever work for somebody, or I say I work for myself, but I'm really working my ass off for the customer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm making
Mm-hmm.
sure that they get everything that they want. I'm making sure that their vision is coming to life. And it's like
Right.
I'm positioning myself right now at the other homework I'm doing so that I can make the money in my sleep. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just had to go out and buy me
Yeah.
2 new tablets today because I'm starting to fill these bad boys up. Y'all know I love my tablets, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got about 10 or 12 of these thick ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's just so I can, take notes, man, when I'm listening to these conversations about neuroscientists, about about
The
quantum
quantum.
mechanics and things like that. So I can go back
Mm-hmm.
to it, and reflect and grow from that.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
can have conversations with people who are on that level. So if I walk into a room full of entrepreneurs and we start talking, I'll bring up, say, man, what do y'all think about this new quantum whatever? You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna be like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's when you start to pull information from other experts and
Mhm.
you listen more than you
Mm-hmm.
speak. But you have to put the
Right.
conversation out there so that we can change the topic from LeBron James and Michael Jordan to something that's going to benefit our future. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep having the
Right.
same discussions about pointless things that don't benefit our future.
Mm-hmm.
We sitting around talking about 1985. For what? 85 is gone. Man, y'all remember the Sugar Hill Gang? So who gives a shit about the Sugar Hill Gang, man?
Right.
And we get so caught up in the gossip to where we can't even become mentally strong. Only way you can become mentally strong is if you do things that you haven't done before, and
Mm-hmm.
you stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't like the consistency of things.
Yeah. That's the thing they fear.
You know?
There's too much fear. And that's the biggest thing with me. Like we talked about last week. If these people are so religious and they got such a deep belief in God, why are you afraid of everything? It just don't make any sense to me.
Well,
And
because there's not
today,
any. Yeah, they're not
mhm,
getting empowered, brother. They're not getting empowered.
right? They're just listening to what they're being told. They're just following along like sheep. That's it. They're
Well,
being herded.
that's what the Bible says, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does.
You're right.
Being
Be
led
the
to the
sheep, man. That's
slaughterhouse.
what the Bible asks you to do. Be a sheep. So we not,
Yeah.
we ain't talking about the Bible, y'all. We don't want y'all to
Yes,
think
but
we just Bible. We ain't
nah,
Bible bashing. That's a good book.
we ain't
You can pull
bashing.
some good information from it, even though the author of it, King James, he was a homosexual. But we're not gonna get off into that either. But hey, man, the thing about that book, boy, I just, it's contradictory, and it doesn't. It's a lot of great stories in there. It's a lot of great information in the book. It depends on how intelligent you are and how wise you are on the subjects that's in it, because you can
Hmm.
interpret things in one way, and because you're not having that quantum mindset, you're going to interpret it just the way it says. But if you think a little bit past those two options, if you think endless thoughts about, okay, how could it do like this? Okay, could it be like this? And could I multiply 2 times the 3 and then still get the same? You know, it's so we have to have that type of mindset, you know, and that's what it is. It's faith with conditions. That's very true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of
Definitely,
funny because
definitely.
we briefly talked about it. You know, even with the news where it's just recycled information, right? So we don't do the
Right,
research on anything. So you
right.
have kids, everybody heard and sing nursery rhymes. One of my favorite ones was Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife but could not keep her. Put her in a pumpkin shell, there he kept her very well. As I got older and I started to just listen to it, I'm like, Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater had a wife but could not keep her. Like, he's a pumpkin eater, but he put her in a pumpkin shell. And
Yeah.
that's sex trafficking. There he kept her very well.
He
So it's
did
like
it.
you don't even think about it until you like literally sit up there and think
Wow.
about it because we're so used to just regurgitating information that we heard from other people. Like think for yourself.
Man,
True
that's
that.
something else. So check this out. I had read about this, man, and it makes sense to me. It says a real world example of quantum entanglement where two particles can be connected regardless of distance. So
Mhm.
applying this
Mm-hmm.
to the mindset, we can connect with ideas and opportunities globally. And
Mm-hmm.
embracing the quantum mindset means embracing the uncertainties and the complex. So even all the way around the world, it's like when you think about somebody long enough and you all of a sudden you get a phone call from them.
Right.
You see, that's thinking past, that's thinking, it doesn't matter about the distance between the two, they're going to still connect. That's
Right.
quantum thinking. That's quantum mindsets right there. So when you apply that mindset, you connect these ideas with opportunities globally. And, you know, it's like a lot of us, we can't think past the global. We can't think past the United States, rather. You
Right.
know, it's like Michael, you traveled to Germany, you know, and Alejandro, you've been to Paris and France, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. I remember. I thought I remember seeing you over there with the Eiffel Tower. But that's the thing about it. We can have them. We can have these type of interactions with other places and still remain right here grounded where you from. You
Right.
know, and a lot of it's like me when I first got to Miami. A lot of dudes like, man, how you fit in right here? You ain't even from here. I say, bro, we all black. We can go to London
Yep.
and still be the same black person because we're all black. We grew up on the same principles. Everybody. You're not a
Yep.
different kind of black because you go to a different country and you're not a different kind of black. No. Unless you go to the tribes of Africa. Now that's a totally different story. And then even some of
Absolutely.
them, yeah, even some of them are starting to get Americanized with the hip hop and 50 cents and all of
Yep.
that. But we still have to realize that once we think outside of these four little old corners that we live in, we can be connected to people who can get us to a better space or give us a different mindset of the way we look at things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Especially
that's
now
the
with the internet, connecting is easy.
Oh yeah.
And the
yeah.
thing
I
is
got
to
a
find
guy.
your community.
Yeah, I got a guy. He sells products for me. When I was selling Taba, he used to sell the products over there in the Gold Coast of Africa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was doing a lot of
Nice.
promoting for me. I used to pay him like $30. Man, that dude there, $30 a month, and he was just loving me to death. He would promote on his page, and that's what I might have him do. I gotta get back in contact with him to see if he's still. Well, I know he's doing what they can over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's still the fact
Mm-hmm.
of just me communicating with him and getting back involved with him to see about these other products that I got, but. Man, yeah, this is way bigger than the telephone. This way bigger than the computer. But these are the things that the quantum mechanics have evolved from. quantum the whole quantum physics is real, man. I love it because when you start learning something new, it's like somebody who just finds God. They're gonna tell everybody about God. You know, Jesus,
Right.
Jesus, 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 Jesus. And that's like with me with neuroscience and quantum thinking. It's like when you learn these type of things, it's like you have to tell people, you have to put it out there so that you can bring this type of world back into your own realm of thinking and your own realm of being. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
And
And
that's major.
that's a whole nother conversation when people say they found God. Like he was never lost. So I'm saying.
No, they were lost. They were lost and they
Yeah.
found their way. So that's what
You
that's
found
their
yourself.
species.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found their way.
I was about to say I never seen God on the Amber Alert, but
Man, that is crazy. And a lot of people don't realize that the letter J, it was only invented like 500 years ago. So if the universe was created thousands of years ago, how can Jesus be the God that they're trying to talk about? You know, but like I said, we can't get off in. But we always end up back in because it's a spiritual thing, though. It's a spiritual. It's so spiritual that we always go back to it because it's something that we need to address within ourselves. A lot of us need to
Yeah.
realize that they're not praising a being, a human. They're not praising a human. They should be within the I am of who they are.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the I am is the quantum physics of all. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
when God first spoke, he said, I am.
Mhm.
So that means that's who he is. That's his name. His name is I am. You know, that was the beginning. That's the beginning. Every time you put I am in front of anything, that's what you are. So
Yes.
we're gonna let that ride. But so what I was gonna say, it's about being cool with the unknown and being open to new possibilities. So a lot of us we love to be so caught up in what we know. Oh man, this is the only way it's gonna work. No, no, that's the only way you see it is working. So once we get
Right.
past that, then we implement each. It's like Yaki says. He says this: if you want to change your diet, if you want to change the way you live, you implement one fruit, one apple. You put something in and you take something away. If you
Right.
if you like bacon, you put the salt or you put some turkey bacon in and take the pork bacon away until you get away from the pork until you get away from the turkey bacon. You know what I'm saying? So we have to
Mm-hmm.
implement as we go along these new ideas, these new way of thinking. We implement some good habits, take away some bad habits, so that way you still have your balance. You're not feeling
Right.
empty inside. You know,
You're not overwhelmed.
no, you're
You know,
definitely not
small
overwhelmed.
changes.
Yeah,
And just with the entanglement, you know, one of the biggest things about us, our people as a whole, it seems, is the religion part. And that's how we always end up coming back to the Bible. Because pretty much everything with our people revolves around that one aspect. And you know, today I was listening to this podcast. Actually, it was a clip that somebody had posted with Kevin Hart talking about how black people always think of things as a scam. And there was this white dude, the announcer was saying that black people always think that everything is a scam. And Kevin said, well, it is, ain't it? Say we've been conditioned to believe that everything is a scam because all our lives we have been scammed. We
damn.
always seem to get to we always seem to be getting to the party late because the gatekeepers are keeping the information that we need from us. And when we do get the information, some of us listen and act on it, and others they still sitting back there worrying. They're like, "Well, God's going to make it happen for me eventually. If He want me to have it, I get it."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like that's that mindset that everybody has to get away from,
It's
because
called fixed. It's called a fixed
yeah,
mindset.
yeah, it's like I was talking, and you know how there's always this talk about the people that believe in God. They're just going to wait on God to save them. And there was a story about the guy in the flood, but all of a sudden he's waiting, the flood rising, a boat comes. He says, "No, I'm waiting on God." A yacht comes. I'm waiting on God. Then a helicopter comes. Nope, I'm going to wait on God. Next thing you know, he's dead in that heaven's gate. It's like, God, why didn't you save me? Like, but I sent you a boat, a yacht, and a helicopter. Sometimes you got to use common sense. Hey, God is going to help you, but He gave you the power of choice. You got free will,
I
so you got
love
to
it.
use your mind sometimes. Because
That's what
I
that
always say,
is, bro.
God help those who help themselves. If you ain't going
Yeah,
to act, what is He going to do for you?
nada, not a damn thing.
Yeah,
But you got to be
and
careful
that's
to
what
the
that.
audience that you're telling that to, Mike.
Yeah, that's true. But
You're
that
saying
is
God
quantum
help those who
mindset.
help themselves. So I go rob a bank. I'm helping myself. So that means God gonna help me, right?
Hey, you got the money, didn't you? How long you keep it?
You got
Nah,
the
but
money,
God,
did you?
yo, when I
Oh
say
man,
God help those who help themselves, that's like the
that's
one
good.
saying, yo, I need a job. I need more money. I need this. I need that. But all you doing is sitting at home watching TV all day. You ain't put in an application. You ain't go ask nobody if they're hiring. It's like,
Oh
who
man,
gonna give you a job if nobody know you need a job?
right.
You
Yeah.
got to put forth some kind of effort, or you just treading water. Eventually, you're gonna sink.
Okay.
And the
Yeah, it's all
quantum
about that,
mindset
man.
says you look at things different. I ain't got money, but I will figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
So
But that's what a quantum mindset is, though. You definitely have to have that mindset because it allows you to adapt quickly to the new challenges and opportunities. That's like if somebody say this is the new thing that's making money right now, and you don't jump right on it, that means you still comfortable in your ways that you're doing. So
right,
until 20 people make $1 million, then you trying to go make the $1 million. It's like now I'm stuck.
now it's too late. Yeah,
It's too late. I done missed that
too late.
opportunity. It's like when the PPP loans came out. Soon
Mm-hmm.
as two people got their PPP loans back, you should have seen all of them boys. That, oh, I got. Oh, I'm going. I'm getting me one
Yeah.
SBA loan.
Mhm.
Oh, you got yours back? Yeah, man, look. Oh, shit, go get me one. So when we see something that's our biggest problem. You know what I'm saying
Mhm.
with our belief system. If ain't nobody get no money from it, we don't believe it happened. That's not true.
Right.
That's a scam. That's not gonna work. But in all actuality, the people who didn't get the money, they probably didn't do a step that they needed to do. They
Hmm.
didn't do that other step because it's always one step away from. If you didn't, it's like if you learn how to ice skate and then you don't tie your laces up all the way, you think you're roller skating. No, you're gonna break your ankle.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
didn't take that
Yep.
one more step that you needed to take. So a lot of times we get comfortable in what we're so used to where we don't think outside of these opportunities. Oh man, that opportunity, that ain't for me. You hear a lot of people always turn down opportunities and then they don't even realize if you apply yourself just like you got that new job and you didn't know how to do the work, they had to train
Hmm.
you. Train yourself on that new opportunity to say, hey man, no, that's what I'm gonna do. I got to get my money like that. I got to do that like that, so that I can get the new whatever it is new that you're looking to get. You know.
Right. Yeah. You got to open up your mind. You got to see things. Start living in the future or remembering your future. Quit living in the past.
Yeah, man. That's what that is. I think that's what you said too. Seeing it instead of seeing it as black and white, we see the spectrum of colors in between.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because like I said, we've been programmed though, man. That just goes to show
Yeah.
Like I listen to the these stoic words, the stoic programs in the risings. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
at the gym, I listen to the stoics, and they give me so much insight on what I really need to be doing and and transform from. And that's why
Right.
I love doing that instead of listening to music, because I'm working my mind, I'm working my muscles. I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
get stronger when I do it that way, instead of listening
Right.
to some rap songs that's probably talking about a bitch or a hoe. And it's like,
Right.
oh, go rob and go kill and go, it's like you try to listen to positive rap, but it still has some pimping or some drug dealing or something in it, on some level.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too many. Like I listened to AJ McQueen, he's talking about healing, but at the same time, he do say if I got a strap just in case. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
we gotta eventually get away from the pistols and talking about all of that, because it's like now we got more guys gospel rapping. You know what I'm saying? So you listening to more
Right.
gospel rap, it's like with the gospel rap, you can feel at ease because you're not finna hear nothing about a bitch or a hoe or a gun or a drug deal going down.
Right.
And that gives your mind ease. That gives your subconscious and your conscious mind time to rest, man. Because if you're always
Mm-hmm.
on the defense, if you're always in battle mode, your nervous system is working overtime because it's trying to don't know if it's time to take fight or flight, because all you're doing is programming your mind to kill and destroy it,
Yeah.
Right.
So once we get out of that type of listening environment, it's like I was telling somebody the other day about how we all should be getting PTSD checks. Because if you grew up in the
True.
city, you heard gunshots. You see people dead in front of your door. You probably done had to hold a dead body or wait on the post. You've done something for us. It's traumatizing, you know, and that's post traumatic stress is real
Yeah.
with everybody. If you grew up in a violent, abusive, a domestic violent household,
Yep.
that's traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get your quantum mindset to working if you've been in a traumatizing situation all your life? And then you grew up with it, so you take that to your relationships. Now you taking
Mm-hmm.
each piece of what you grew up seeing to a family to a household that's not even involved in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like you hear people tell stories. Oh man, you remember I had that fight in school? And in school it probably was 2 licks thrown and then y'all got broke up. But as you got
Mm-hmm.
older, now man, I drugged that fool down the stairs. I had dumped him on his head. Now the story done got this big
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden. And that wasn't even what it was.
Yeah.
So
That's what Bernie
we
Mac called putting 100 on 10.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing that we have to realize, that we can't remember more and more. We have to reflect more and more, because when you keep remembering, you just keep piling on that past trauma. You keep piling it on to where you can't even get out. Now you can't even climb out of it, because that's your whole life. That's your whole being. All you do is remember instead of reflecting. Like I always tell you,
Mm-hmm.
reflecting is growing from the past. Remembering is staying in the past. If you just keep remembering, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
stay there. You're not
Yeah.
gonna ever grow from that. You know?
Yeah.
If we keep reflecting, that's why we have to use new words. We have to learn new words. Get your Bible, or get not a Bible, I said a Bible, dictionary. Get you a dictionary. Yeah, well, we stay on that there, don't we? But get you a dictionary, and that way you can, find you some, or hang around some more intelligent people. How about that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's nothing wrong with leaving your friends behind because they're not growing. If you
Right.
gotta, I was talking to, I think my kid's mother today, and she was saying how she don't feel comfortable around the people that she's around. I say that's because you're trying to grow and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Once you
Yeah.
find yourself like you don't even want to talk to the people that you used to talk to every day. I mean, I don't even want to talk to you, man. You know,
Yeah.
because you know that person is just not doing what they should be doing as an adult.
Mm,
You know, so that's that's a lot of us, man. And that's what we I believe that a lot, like you said, Mike, a lot of us are starting to transform because like we hear more grand risings, we hear more people speak about
mhm.
Sumerian tablets, we hear more people talk about becoming plant based.
Mhm.
Eventually all of
Yeah.
that is going to subside in our subconscious mind, and then you're going to start seeing, like I see this lady, she feeds her baby, she got a toddler like 3 years old, and the toddler's already plant-based.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So she's going to grow up in a whole different environment than a lot of these other kids. It's like
Right.
they show you on TikTok how the Chinese kids 5 years old, they in there cooking whole meals. You might need to go hire them,
Right.
Alejandro.
Yeah. For real.
You might need to go over there to China
Yeah.
and get some of them babies out there and put them on that assembly line.
I know,
Yeah, because
right?
they over there doing they doing big great things over there, man. And it's
Yeah.
not to say that China's better, but China is better. You know,
Yeah. At least as far as education.
education
And
and showing their children, showing the babies how to advance. You know, become. Hey, man, you're not you're for you can learn at from the ages of one. What is it? From 1 to 7. That's
mhm.
when that baby in theta stage, they can learn
Hey,
anything, languages,
yeah. They absorb it
anything. They
all.
can do anything. From one to
Yeah.
7 years of age, a child can grow to be anything. As long as you instill it, as long as you plant it, you put them seeds in there, and then you practice with
Right.
them every day. On, I had my oldest, my oldest kid's mother, her firstborn is not my biological, but she calls me dad because
Mhm.
I've been raising her since she was 11 months. But at 11 months, she was having 10 months. She was having full blown conversations. I'm talking about talking clearly. She was
Mhm.
walking at 10 months and just running her mouth like she was a full grown person. Arguing with my cousin. Me and my cousin, we had moved up there to Indiana. And I'm telling you, she was giving him the business. Well, Alvin, why it doesn't do like this and this and this? Man, I'd be sitting back in the room like, is she really giving this dude the business? Because her mother
Yeah.
read books while she was in her stomach. Her mother
Yeah.
always read to her because it was just her and the mom, just reading, just reading. And that way, a lot of us don't realize instead of going to the club, you got a newborn, sit down and read with that baby. Teach that
Mhm.
baby them words. Let that baby hear you speak real words. None of that. Oh, look at my baby. This,
That
no,
baby
no,
talk.
no. Fuck that baby talk. We got to
Yeah, I
put these
hate hearing
babies
that.
into a different mindset. We have
Yeah.
so many people don't want to have kids because, oh man, I ain't bringing my child into this world.
Right.
What? You think the world is going to change because you think it? No, man. You bring that baby into this world, that means we keeping that population alive. We keep
Yeah.
growing. We keep
That's it.
showing. We keep showing up. And you have to teach your child. You can bring a million babies in this world, but if you don't teach them nothing, then they're all gonna fall to the wayside and do what everybody else is doing. But if you teaching them instead of let the
Yeah.
school teach it, that's how we win.
And there was a saying by the Jesuits that said if you get a child young, the possibilities are endless to what that child can become. And the problem
Oh
is
yeah.
now that with our children, the TV is raising them. So those possibilities, like you said with the
Nah.
Chinese, their
YouTube.
children are
YouTube,
growing.
Mike.
Our children,
Mike, YouTube. YouTube is
yeah,
raising our children.
yeah, but
The
they're not
TV ain't
learning the things they need to be learning. And
right.
that's the problem. It's like our culture seems to be going backwards, whereas foreign countries they're being ahead. It's like most of the CEOs in the big corporations, Chinese, Indians, all the intelligent people in technology, Chinese, Indians. And because they are
Warren Buffett
actually
said
learning
something.
in school.
Warren Buffett said something real profound to me. He said, wealthy people, they have more books in their house than they do TV.
Right.
Say the poor people want to be
Shells.
entertained. Wealthy people want to read. Poor people want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and poor does not mean that you don't have money. Poor is the mindset, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what we're speaking about. We're speaking about mindsets. Wealthy mindset is saying that, hey, I'm gonna read this book to find out how to start this new business, how to get this new thing going. Poor mindset is like, turn the TV on, let's just look at a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we take these little cliche
Yeah.
sayings and we run with them. Netflix and chill. Man, Netflix ain't got nothing on it that I haven't seen in real life.
Do that.
Everything in real
Do
life that
that.
I've seen done. Half that stuff I done lived, man. And I'm grateful and thankful that I'm here right now to even have this discussion with y'all. Because
Right.
like I said, when you grow up in an inner city and you see the people getting shot, you see this guy whole shoulder off his body. You see the guy,
Mm-hmm.
the kid traumatized, the baby done got killed at the party. I mean, at the birthday parties and stuff like that. You see all of this stuff growing up, and you thinking it's normal. Oh man, that's just shit. That shit happen around here, dog. And it's like that's not a normal thing. So to have a quantum mindset, that's going to bring more opportunities to your environment. It's going to bring more
Yeah.
opportunities or you're going to, I say you're going to take advantage of the opportunities. You're not going to, it's not, opportunities are everywhere. And a lot of people think
Yeah.
an opportunity is a bad thing, but being an opportunist is not a bad thing. Because if I can get involved with it and then I can create something while I'm there, that's not being an opportunity. That's being a help.
Right.
I'm contributing. If I jump into it, so I see, this chick got $500,000, bro. Okay, well, let me get with this chick so I can implement and show her, hey, man, this is how I'm gonna show you how to maintain it and make sure that you put it in the right pockets. Oh, but you ain't
Mm-hmm.
even got it. Yeah, I don't have it yet, but that's not to say that I wasn't on my way. But if I can get a step ahead, if I can jump over this rock, or
Yeah.
say I had it already and I lost it because of drugs and alcohol, but now I'm not drunk and high no more, and I don't have a bunch of
Right.
leeches around me. I see how if I had it again, I'll know what to do with it this time.
Yeah. You know how to go get it again.
That's
Right.
having a quantum mindset. Yeah, that's a quantum mindset because I'm embracing my quantum field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a
I
lot
would
of us
say we're talking about. Go ahead.
I'm waiting on you.
I found this where it says how the quantum mindset is used, and like entrepreneurs, they use it to break out of limiting beliefs and to act with bold vision. So they're doing things, they're stepping out of that box and just moving out into the world. Then you have leaders. Leaders apply the quantum mindset to inspire teams to think innovatively or creatively and to take calculated risks. And then coaches and speakers, like motivational speakers and life
Yeah,
coaches, they teach it to help individuals shift from a scarcity and fear-based mindset to an abundance and potential mindset. So these are just ways that different people use the mindset because basically having the mindset, not being afraid to try something new, looking at all the endless possibilities because no matter what happens in the world, there are opportunities and possibilities out there. But if you look at everything, like you got one stumbling block. Some people look at it as a stumbling block, others look at it as a stepping stone.
yeah. You have to
That's
always
all
have that
about your
mind.
mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have the mindset that that's all it is, and just like I try to explain to people every time somebody say something bad about me or somebody put their opinion on me, I always evolve from that, because my
Mm-hmm.
mindset is not about I know for a fact that's how they feel in this moment about what I, may be doing or how I'm presenting myself because it's all
Mm-hmm.
presentation. I
Right.
presented myself in that way at that moment, but then a lot of people live in that moment for the next 10 hours or 24 hours or 72
Or a
hours.
couple of days.
I take
Yep.
that, I take that word and I'll be like, you know what? How can I grow from that word? Okay, boom. That's who I am. That's how I perceive myself at that moment. But check this out. Look at me tomorrow. I'll have to reintroduce myself because you have people who they keep you in that mind frame.
Mm-hmm.
I quit talking to one of my homegirls. I quit talking to her. She like steady calling, hey man, I got business, man. I said, I didn't even say anything. But my whole mindset is that I'm done. I'm not mad at you. I'm just done with you. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do. I don't care if you told me you had 100,000 right now for me. I would look past all of that because of the disrespect that you haven't apologized for as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if my mindset was still on, oh, I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna argue and I'm gonna have this, it's like, no, I don't
Right.
want that. My quantum mindset says, man, you've grown from that. You've grown from that situation. That person cannot
Yeah.
even be in your realm of you access. You cannot let people have access to you that don't belong in your realm
Mm-hmm.
because we say to give access to people who we've outgrown. We give access to people who are definitely not on our level
Right.
when we shouldn't give access to people on that. And that's our biggest fear is being alone. Oh, I ain't gonna be sitting here by myself. Why not? That's when you get to hear God. That's when you get to hear your own thoughts. That's when you get to look in the mirror and I know a lot of people that I talk to, bro. I ask them when the last time you had a conversation in the mirror with yourself. Man, I don't do that. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who do you talk to? My sister or my cousin? Oh no. You can't talk to people that's not on your journey. You can't talk to people that's not
Right.
living your life about your
Right.
life. I quit putting people in my business so long ago, man. It's like, nah, man, I can't tell you about that. Because
Right.
it's like now they putting their judgment on it. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you should have
Yeah.
did this. And you should no, man. I should have thunk my way out of it.
Yeah.
That's why I go to work and I come home and I'm in silence. I put my jazz on or I put a program on to where I can write notes from
Mm-hmm.
because that's what we doing in this world. We only get one of these things. So if you sit around and you're mad for 24 hours, if you're upset about what somebody said for 24 hours, you just took away
Yeah.
so much joy out of your life for those 24 hours by thinking about one particular thing when you could have used your quantum mindset and said, I'm gonna reflect and I'm gonna grow from it, and then I'll never show that person that side of me again. I'll never,
Mm-hmm.
I'll practice my future because that person won't see that part of me. I'll practice
Right.
becoming a better person. If you see me like that, that means and I know that you really fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a stranger saying it. It's a motherfucker that fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
That really fucks with you. That said it. So sometimes people feel like that hurt them instead of saying, "Hey man, you know what? Shit, there's some words. I'm gonna brush that shit out. That's what I'm finna do. I'm finna grow from that. I'm finna
Mm-hmm.
expose them as a liar because that's not me. That's not the truth about me. That was an episode. That was one point in life to where I did that. I may have
Mm-hmm.
presented myself as that in that manner, but at the same time, I'm gonna reflect and I'm gonna grow. That's why I tell people all the time, man, we can't live in these same old programs that we lived in for however old the person may be. And that's why I love what 19 Keys said. This is a new age. I've never been this age. So how are you going to call me old if I've never been it? And then have you ever been that age? So how can it be an old age to any of us if we've never been that age before?
Right.
This is new. So if you're becoming into a new age, that means you're learning some new things. You're growing into a new person. You're not growing into an old person. That's why you had people living into a 120, 140, 160. When we was young, I knew a lady, she was 120 on my grandmama's street, 120 years old. On my great-grandmother's street, rather. It was in the country. But that's what I'm saying. Because you got to keep that mindset fresh to where you like, bro, I've never been that age. Somebody told you that was an old age.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you kept that program in your head. And you ain't never been that age before. But that's a quantum mindset to think that you've never been that age and it's a new thing to you. So you got to keep that type of mindset to say, hey, man, all this is new. I'm new. I'm 1 year old right now because this is the first year I've ever been this age. Right. I'm 1 year old next year because that's the first year I've ever been that age. I've never been that age before. So this is my first year involved in this age. So let me ride this. Let me learn something what I can learn. When we think like we're old, that's what it is. Oh boy, I'm getting older.
That's when you become old.
How do you become old though? If you've never been an age before, how do you become old? That goes back to the question of saying, how y'all doing? That's like you can't ask somebody how they doing. You can't tell somebody they old if you ain't never been that age before.
Right.
You old. No, old is 2. 2 is old. I've been 2 about 25 times. 27 times I've been 2 already. You know what I'm saying? I've been 27 times.
It's like when people
tell me, I be old.
Like when people tell me, oh, well, you know, you don't look 40. I'm like, the fuck does a 40-year-old supposed to look like?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they supposed to look all wrinkled up. Probably some white person asked you that.
Yeah. All the time. And then being on college campuses, it's like, I didn't think you were in your 40s. Like,
right.
Okay. So show me what a 40-year-old is supposed to look like. And then they point out some out of shape.
Right. Yep. Exactly. That's that programming, man. That's their programming. So like we always like we're doing these topics and take the topics and really implement them into our daily lives. It's just not a topic to just speak about. It's something that this is really reality. And we can take it to a whole nother level if we stayed on neurosciences and quantum physics for the next 2 years. We would evolve we would evolve way more if we stayed on this topic than any other topic. Because this topic is endless. It's so many opportunities, so many ideas can be brought from this topic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we have to realize, that all of this stuff is about learning curves. And that's what, you know, and where we see it, it helps Michael. It helps me and Michael. It helps Alejandro. It helps all of us because we've grown from the beginning of the show. Alejandro used to tell the joke every 5 years. He was scoring on everybody.
Yeah, wasn't he? Yup.
But now we giving intellectual conversation. We having an intellectual conversation.
Hey, some of the jokes were funny though, but
Yeah, they was all funny. Yeah, that's why I had to ask y'all, man, y'all all right with this dude talking about y'all? Like, boy, we be laughing like a mother. That was too funny.
Those are the good old days.
He going, he going in. But man, that's what definitely what these shows are about, man, is just to grow from to reflect and understand that things are way better than than we take it as on a day-to-day level. A lot of people think about what they don't have. I'm so grateful for everything that I do have nowadays, man. Because I couldn't see this far if I kept thinking about what I don't have. I couldn't show up every Wednesday at 8:30 if I keep thinking about what I don't have. Because I would be stuck in the past, still living in a rooming house, still, living unhealthy. But that's where we at, y'all. So fellas, what y'all got on the go out?
Yo, Thor, you want to start us off so I can take notes? I got my pen in hand.
Well, it's a great show as always, but I just want to go out with saying mindset is what separates the best from the rest. And remember that
Sure.
Oh, what you said for sure? Oh.
I was just saying true.
Oh, understood. Let me log back in. But failure is a bruise, not a tattoo.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always grow. I mean, don't become stagnant.
Right.
What you said earlier, stagnant stinks.
That'll work, yeah. That's true. But I'm going to go out with, you're not waiting for your future or for the future. You're remembering it. The version of you you're becoming already exists. Align, believe, and collapse the distance. Move into your new self.
Move into your new self. I love it. So I'm going to say, by embracing our quantum mindset, we can unlock our full potential and create success in ways we never thought possible. So always embrace your quantum mindset and always remember that you can change tomorrow. You can change tonight. You can change at any given time that you want to change. It's not I'm a wait and see type of business. It's right now I feel like this is what I need to be doing. And that's what we do, y'all. So come back next week, man. We're gonna have another great topic, another great conversation, and y'all can interact and join in, man, and have something to say about it. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.